I feel like almost every one of us was at conference. So I originally wanted you guys to just plan like 2 minutes because I thought if all 24 of us are on and we all go for 2 minutes, it's like an hour call. But since there is a few less than that, I just want to hear like everyone's takeaways as far as like what really stood out to you at conference, and then like what you brought home, how things are going, how you're keeping your fire lit, what ahas, like whatever you want to share with people about what went down at conference. So I'm going to type in the chat just according to what I see in my screen, so that way I can remember. So Kelly Jo, Samara, Paige, Ashley, Christina R, Brandy, Merlane, Christina F, and then Ashley Van. Okay. So that'll be the order that we go in, and then yeah, we'll just go from there. So sorry, Kelly Jo, you're first.
Well, if I can find my unmute button, that would be fine. All right. So I wrote a few notes to try to keep myself on track. So what I've kind of, you guys know my takeaway at conference. Like I loved just being able to be myself and like being allowed to be myself. And this kind of happened before conference even a little bit when they announced TikTok. And then I was watching TikTok and all these girls like being crazy and like they had like stuff on their shirt. Like right now I have dog hair all over me and like I'm in a messy bun, you know, and like I'm not, it's not that I'm not beautiful because I know I'm beautiful, but like I'm not Instagram beautiful. Like I don't like taking these like post pictures. It's just not my thing. It's not who I really am. And I love finding ways to just be myself and that I don't have to be somebody else. And that just continued to speak to me throughout conference is like, just be myself. If I want to be a crazy dancing fool, if I want to be like loud and obnoxious, if I want to be calm and quiet, like whatever it is, whoever I want to be, I'm allowed to be that person. And so I think sometimes we look at top leaders or we look at other people and like, well, they're successful because this is how they are. No, they're successful because this is what they did. This is the work they did. It's not necessarily like how they're doing it necessarily, if I'm making sense. I don't know if I am, but it's like they're not successful because they have pretty blonde hair. Like that's not the reason that they're at the top of the company. It's because they put in the hard work. And so it doesn't matter who you are to get there. You just have to do the things. And then you guys, life has happened in the past week that we've been back. Like, I can't believe it's just been a week. I had parent teacher conferences where I legit, I'm not kidding you, was not allowed to be on my phone from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Like I couldn't post. I wasn't supposed to be on Messenger, anything like that, because we had parent teacher conferences like the day I got back. And so life happened. Like I was busy. Judd was in the hospital all day today. We got a second dog. Like life happens. And you just have to buckle down and keep working because no matter what, life's going to continue going on. And I was reflecting on it's been 5 years. And since I joined since 5 years, like transition time, you know, I've been in the business for a little over 4 years. And like, what have I done in the past 5 years? It's been amazing, like the growth and the things. So, and it's just because I continue to show up. And the other thing is who you live with, who is directly around you, does not control you. They don't control your circle. They don't even have to be a part of your circle. So like maybe your spouse isn't supportive or your mom isn't supportive or your kids are just like wild and crazy all the time. It doesn't matter. That doesn't have to be your circle. Go outside your house and find your circle. I don't care if you have to hang out with somebody on podcast all day to be able to have your cup filled. Like you find somebody that will be your circle and be good for you. You set your goals, you lit your fire. Now you have to keep running. Nobody can do that for you. This isn't your team's job. It's your job. You put your name on the top of that chart. You said, I want triple diamond or presidential diamond or ambassador diamond or whatever it was that you said. Now you have to do the work. Doesn't matter what Tamika is doing. Doesn't matter what the people underneath you are doing. It matters what you are doing because you are solely responsible. I had somebody message me yesterday like, well, this person's not working, this person's not working, this person's not working. I'm like, cool, you said you want a diamond. What are you going to do about it? Like, I don't care that they're not working. I built a diamond and I had one worker. Like, you can do it. You can do it. If you put your name on the chart, you're responsible for it. So I probably went over my time. Sorry, but there you go.
Love it. All right. Samara, are you good?
I mean, I'm sick, but I'm good. My favorite thing was like connecting with my team, my personal team, especially because some of them I haven't met. And then I just loved hearing everyone's stories. So like and I just really loved like just hearing everyone's stories and realizing how real everyone is, and that we could like just connect with each other.
And I love that you said like connecting with your team, because it's like really sometimes the only time we're going to be able to see people like at a conference, you know, or at our events that we get to go to. And oh, I think I'm freezing. Am I good now? And so yeah, being able to make those connections with each other, I feel like is so important and good. And I know that like you weren't even going to come. And I feel like because you decided to come, like 4 of your teammates came too. And so it's like you got to lead from the front. You got to be that example. You've got to be that person that goes even when nobody else is going, because you know you're supposed to be there, and then you'll see who follows you. So I just thought that was really cool. Paige.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Yeah, perfect. So a couple of things that I took away when I was watching our top leaders, like what do they have in common? What's in common? A lot of them don't. A lot of like their stories are completely different. And it's just because a lot of the times I get like, oh, well, she's a certain way, and it's like, no. One common thing that I kind of saw from everybody is that they have a faith in something. They have something that they are putting their hope, their trust in, and just saying, this is, if I give this, the world will give it back. If I keep my faith in something, I will give back. I just got to keep faith in it. And then I just going with Samara is I loved meeting everybody. And it's so nice having to know people that are going through the same situations that you are. Like, yeah, nobody on my team is working. Oh, nobody's working on my team either. What are you doing? And then just getting ideas to figure out like how we can help each other, even if people aren't working on your team or you're struggling with like host posts and stuff. So it was really nice being able to connect with everybody.
Yeah, connections are incredible, and finding that sideline sister that's like I know that there's a few people on here that found a sideline sister that like just they related well with and have that connection. And doesn't matter if your team's not working, because other people's teams aren't working and they're still ranking up, they're still hitting these promotions. So I love that. And we're all in different places in our business, and whether we have that now or we're going to have that later, like we grow through what we go through if you choose to. So I love that. Thanks, Paige. Ashley France.
So for me, the biggest takeaway that I had was when they said that you're not stuck, that you're planted. It struck mine. It's just no matter what you're going through in life, it doesn't matter. It's all mindset and how you view it and how you're gonna create that into something that's going to be beautiful in the long run. Sorry.
Yeah, that was really good. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, it was Sherilyn Akala's husband that did this little speech about like you're not stuck, like you have to be planted, you have to be buried. If we're talking about the same event, the same part, but it was really, really good. And I think that somebody posted it in the Legacy Leaders page. I know somebody posted it in the Lifers page. So if it's not in there, in the Legacy page, I'll go find it, because it was so good. And it's so true. Like we're not stuck, like we're planted, and it's up to us to grow and bloom. So that was really good. It's on the It Works Facebook page. Thanks, Kelly Jo. All right, now we have Christina R.
Hi. That's actually what I was going to say. It's kind of the same thing. We're not stuck. That's kind of like what's been in my mind, is that I am stuck. And then just hearing that was like, no, planted, and it's for me to bloom. You know, it's like I have a few, like I just signed my sister, and I had signed my friend and I helped her pay for it, which found out that's a big no-no. But they're kind of just not, well, my sister's trying, but I'm like, take that out of there, you know, like that's what I heard from you guys. Don't say try. You can't, trying doesn't get you anywhere. So I'm just like, okay, this is for me to do. Like, it's okay if no one's working. I have to do it. And I will bloom myself with your guys' rain.
Yes. And just go along with like being stuck. Like people are just stuck in their own lives. Like they're stuck because it's comfortable. They're stuck because they don't want to do things that make them uncomfortable or push them outside of the, like their comfort zone. And so if you are feeling stuck, then that's where you need to reflect and say, well, what am I doing to grow myself? What am I doing to push myself? What do I know I need to do? And that's how you start to bloom.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and I think we've all said that at some point in our business or in our lives. Like, I'm just like so stuck. I don't know what to do, but we do know what to do. We just got to put our head down and get to work. So thank you for sharing. Brandy, are you good right now or do you need to skip and come back?
Yeah. No, no, it's good. So I'm trying to think. There was so much good stuff. I like the connecting. The thing that really got me was when they're like the more successful you are, like your circle shrinks, like your people around you shrinks. And then I was reading earlier this week and it was like your circle doesn't have to shrink. Like in reality, like my circle went from like, who I normally saw through the year, and then bam, it was huge again at conference and all the connections. So my circle grew, it didn't shrink. And so like I was looking at the perspective as like, okay, well my circle is going to shrink. Like, what does that even mean for me? Because my was really small anyways. But in reality, my circle grew. Like my Edwork circle grew, and then this week I had a procedure done on Tuesday, and so many people like stepped up and like brought me meals, and my husband like stayed home for like 3 days. He took vacation so that he could help me. We got all the laundry done, and like all the people like just stepped up and was like helping. And so so I think that being able to like create the circle that you want, like it takes work obviously, but you have to be open to that. Like you have to be open to the different personalities. You have to be open to the different I don't know, mindsets that come into your circle and embrace what they have to offer you, because you're not going to grow without it. And so I thought that was really great this week. And then I did a pop-up kind of a vendor event on Friday. And so I grew my circle there, and tons of people. And like, I can chat, and I can sell you anything. It's the closing that gets me every single time. But I got lots of practice on Friday, so that was great. And I was really excited about that. So getting to those events, that they were saying you need to do that, I went ahead and did that this week. So that was my.
That's awesome. And, that part about the circle really stood out to me. And I'm glad that you reminded me of that, because I totally forgot. But, like, I think first and foremost, like stepping into what you believe in, like what you can do allows people to give to you, and like allows your circle to grow. Like when you're accepting, like Brandy said, of different personalities and different mindsets and different things that people have to offer, and do, like when you step into who you are and let other people come to your space, like, yes, your circle grows. But then the other thing that they're telling us, like as leaders, that like as you grow and rank up and make more money and do more things, that you are going to have those people with smaller minds that are like, well, don't you have enough? Don't you, like, why can't you just be happy with what you have? And that's what they're talking about when it comes to like your circle may shrink when you go up, but also it also could get bigger, because how many people are you going to be able to help and give back to and support, And so it's definitely good to keep your mind open in both directions there. But like Kelly Jo said, protecting your circle and making sure that you're just keeping the ones that are helping you grow and be uplifted in your inner circle. Okay. So after Brandy, Merlane.
Hey everyone. So my takeaway, I was so happy to meet everybody and to see like we all different. And one thing that really stood out, like the end of conference when we did the takeaway with Amber, I just felt like, oh my God, like here is this lady, she's a millionaire, and she's able to come and sit with all of us and took her time to pour into everyone. So, and just to share her heart and her story, like no matter where you are, no matter like whatever your background is, you can be successful. Like I'm always thinking to myself, like in my story, I, in school, because well, not that it's an excuse, but because like I didn't grow up here, I was born in Haiti, but it's like I cannot wait to see myself on stage, with my team and getting like a trophy, because it's like no matter where you're from, no matter who you are, you can be whatever, like you can be successful in this business. And then the other thing that really stood out is like how Cammie, she did not like hesitate to pray for that lady. The heart of these people, it's just like, it just brought me into tears. Like she just didn't hesitate, she prayed for her. And the other thing was when Mark was sharing that story about that young man who didn't have a way, but he really wanted to play in the game, So it's like, always know why you're here and just keep pushing. Don't give up. Keep pushing no matter how hard. We all of our teams, like everyone shared on the stage, like they didn't make it because of one person, or they didn't make it because of the whole team. Not everybody's working. Okay, so you just have to step up, just like Kelly said, you have to step up and get it done. No matter what, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have good days. Just keep going. That's what I have to say. Thank you, Tamika.
Yes, so good. And it is so interesting to hear everybody's stories, but in everybody's stories, there was some kind of hurt, whether it was really being broke, like having no money, whether it was physical, emotional, spiritual, everybody was broke. And because they let this business in, it healed them, and even now, like still some people are still broke, even though at the top of the company, like there's still parts of them that aren't whole and that they're working through. But like, it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter where you came from. All that matters is that, you want to better yourself and better other people, and you're willing to put in the work for it. So I really like that too. Okay, Christina F. and then Ashley Van.
Can you guys hear me? I should probably take this off. I don't know why I stopped my Bluetooth on. I just got home. Okay, I've been like thinking about what exactly I wanted to say because I'm exhausted. But I think even with that too, funny enough, just that whole week going to conference, like a lot of I flew from LA, so going from my experience into conference, which is probably like the most, I don't know if I want to say perfect, but the most thing that I needed for then what conference brought with between worship. Honestly, worship was like the one thing that just like ignited the whole weekend for me. Like it really was. Just because I felt like God just moved tremendously. And those of you that don't know, like I brought Chubby down to get prayed for her, and then like Cammie ended up praying for her. And it was just like super powerful moment that I think it was also one of those moments that lately, especially for me with like some family, just when it comes to certain things about them saying negative stuff about the business, that moment kind of like declared for me, no one will ever tell me otherwise about this business. Like I do not care what anyone says. So I feel like that was a big moment. I loved everything. Like to be honest, I'm so tired. I didn't take notes. I'm not a note taker, but just the whole entire weekend between that night, it was just so powerful for me and what I know that God was doing and what he's going to do. And I'm actually like the last week, it's been a lot of contemplating like, okay, God, I also know that he's been showing between conference, I need to get into my element of going to LA and just making my move out there. And I'm actually right now planning that for the second week of March. So it's like, I just know that there's just such huge like shifts coming in like conference, just like it was just like awesome. Right now I can't even find the right words. I'm so tired, but I'm like still going on like a little sleep some nights because I'm just like I'm doing it. but yeah, like that's just kind of how I can quickly summarize that.
Yeah, like worship is always a good part. And this year they did something different than I don't think they've, at least since I've been, they haven't invited people to come down into the VIP section, just like to have people pray over each other. And for those of you who couldn't hear very well, Christina took Shelby, and Shelby's not religious at all. And Cammie, they found Cammie Pentecost and she and her, I don't know what you call her, like personal assistant, Pamela, ended up praying over Shelby and just getting her connections to what she needed to heal, and just a really incredible experience. And that's like proof that like there are divine appointments, and that our company, like Merlane was saying too, is that like we really care about people and pray over people. It's just really, really special. Okay, so now we have Ashley Van, and then we had a few new people hop on. So we'll go Ashley Van, and then Lindsay, and I thought I saw Hayden, but I don't see her anymore. So just Ashley and then Lindsay, and then we'll wrap it up.
Hi, you guys. So my biggest takeaway, I mean, there was a lot. I mean, conference was just a lot. It was like a whole experience, really. Like, it's not something like, yeah, we can all share like what we took and what the experience was like, but I can definitely say that like, you don't really experience it unless you're there. And what I really needed was confirmation of like the mindset shift regarding business, personal development, self-acceptance, capability, accountability, just all of it. And I got it the very first day. So really the rest of conference was just learning so much more than I expected. I think, but the biggest takeaway though, is when I came home, life happened. Like the moment I walked in the door, life happened. I came home to a new guinea pig, which was very unexpected. Things with my medical, things with my finances, literally within 24 hours, I was just ready to go climb in my closet and just like not deal with it. And then I remembered everything that I learned at conference, everybody struggling just like we all do. And that we have the decision that we can keep living in that struggle, or we can be a part of our circle and grow out of that struggle. And being around everybody having life happen to them and seeing them all commit to it, and then knowing that everybody went home to the same thing I did and yet we're still doing it, it just gave me so much heart and willpower to just like keep going with that fire that I had from conference, even though like I've wanted to give up so many times. And the family and the heart and the vision of the company and what I took from conference just gives me the drive to keep going because I know that I can.
Yes, raise your hand if you had life happen when you came home. Anybody? Everybody, right? Like life is always happening. And you might have a good day here or there, but like you said, you just got to keep pushing through because that's the only way you grow. So Lindsay, go ahead.
Can you hear me good? Okay. I guess my takeaway from conference was I wasn't expecting, I know it's going to be a super broad statement, everything that happened. There's two stories that really stuck with me, and I don't remember the names, but the one lady who lost her baby at 37 weeks, and then the other lady who she was going to meet with someone and she lost her husband and she was supposed to be in the car. I mean, life happens in a blink of an eye. So, I mean, everybody is going through different things. And I mean, those were extreme things that someone went through, and they were able to build their life back up to something extraordinary. So, I mean, I've never been through anything like that personally, that extreme. But I know that I'm able to, from like those stories and all the other stories, I know I'm able to build myself up to something of that extraordinary in the near future.
Yes, I love that. And to kind of piggyback off of that, it was so much fun to see you guys like meet your idols, quote unquote, like your celebrity crushes almost, you know, like, oh, Jackie Deering, she's in that restaurant, and oh, there's Ashley Mayfield, and like seeing you guys light up, like when you would see somebody who you had seen on YouTube or who had helped you with your business. And so that was one of my takeaways was that like that's going to be you guys one day for somebody else. Like when you, like I got a picture of Lindsay taking a picture with Ashley Mayfield and like the smile on her face, and like all I could think of is the person who's going to be so excited to meet Lindsay because Lindsay changes her life because of her story. And so that was kind of one of my takeaways is to see that. And then to go along with that, like everybody who was on stage because of their kick butt team, you know, and like they were loud and they weren't ashamed and they were doing the things whether or not they thought anybody else cared. And for me, kind of going along with Kelly Jo too, is that like I can be me and like that is good enough, and it's going to help the people who need me and who I am, and just being loud of who we are. And you know, last week that we were on the family call, I just wanted to write in the comments like the pack is in the house and like drop a whole bunch of wolves and fire and like all of this stuff. And I didn't, because I was like embarrassed. But like, you know, you always hear people writing like the tribe is here, the tribe. And I'm like, okay, like what is wrong with me? Like, why can I not like be loud about who I am and where I'm going? And, you know, I've kind of taken a step outside my comfort zone, and I'm going to start doing like live workout videos and doing some different things, you know, but like one thing that really stood out to me is like being loud about who we are and where we're going. And you guys, to be honest, we have the best team that there ever was. And I'm not just saying that, like we really, really do. And why, like we are all not loud about it. Like we just need to start. So I'm going to ask you guys when we hop over in the family call in 30 minutes, like we're going to say the pack is in the house and we're going to drop wolves and we're going to drop fire, because I need you guys to be with me, because I'm just not the kind of person that like blazes the trail by myself. And then my last takeaway, you guys, from conference was when they announced conference tickets. I don't remember if I was on a call or if they said it on the call, but they said, write down how many teammates, how many people are going to be there with you. And immediately 35 came to mind. Immediately 35. And I was like, ooh. And I wrote down 25 because I was like, I know I can do 25. Like, I know I can do 25. I'm good. And then that night when I went to bed, I was like, 35, like just kept popping up into my mind, 35. And I'm like, well, I know I can do 25, 35. I don't know who. And I'm like counting and like, well, maybe, like, I don't even know. Right. So conference tickets get launched and there's 24 of you guys bought it right away. And I was like, see, I knew I should have just done 25. Then I would have hit it. Like what? But I kept 35 up by my light switch, up by my computer, up everywhere. I kept 35. And you guys, before we went to conference, there were 37 tickets bought. 37 people bought tickets. Now I know that some of you guys weren't able to come, but we crushed it. And that's just proof that like, even when we want to doubt ourselves, like it will happen, you know? And so next time I'm going to say 35 people come to conference, not 35 people buy tickets. You know, like word choice is everything. But, you know, there was still 24 people there, which was incredible when it was all said and done, including, you know, our husbands that got tickets. And so I know that if we just keep our faith and we keep our head down and we personally lead by example, like all of you guys are right now by being on this call, like let's take a selfie, let's put it in our stories. But if we just keep leading by example, people are going to come. And a lot of people have been asking me, how do I motivate my team? Like, how am I going to do this? And number one, we don't need to worry about the how, because we already know what we need to do. We don't need to worry about the how. We just need to have the end goal and focus and work towards it. But I'll tell you, the times that I've been most motivated in my life is when I've seen somebody else do something or have something that I want. That's when I've been most motivated. Like if someone's like, hey, I'm going to drop 20 pounds. Who wants to come with me? I'm not super motivated until I see their six pack. You know what I mean? Like when I see something that somebody else has that I want, then that's when I go after it. And I'd really encourage you guys to do the same. Like see that $15,000 bonus, see that diamond rank, do everything it takes to get to it. And people will come when they start seeing you have results. And if they don't, it doesn't matter because you're going there anyway. And so the best way to motivate your team is to motivate yourself, really. And I know we hear that all the time. And so, you guys, I just am grateful that I wanted to keep this short, just kind of go over. And like I said, we got the family call, but does anybody, whether you went to conference or you didn't go to conference, I know some of you guys had been conference in the past, maybe you missed it, but you still took away something from watching the videos or seeing the posts. I just want to like open it up to anybody who wants to add anything else. like Kelly Jo said in the comments, she said she had 2 with her last year and 14 this year, 7 times the amount. And that was another thing for me, is like, we had gone to Amber's thing last year and there was a big group of us. And then to have our own group that was just as big as that group last year was like my dream come true. Like, it was incredible. Like, I never would have thought we would have a team that big there. And it's just crazy. And like Kelly Jo said, 7 times as many. So what's that going to look like next year? You know, it's going to be incredible. We're going to quadruple in size. Mandy, did you want to say something? No? Okay. All right then. Nobody else? Pascal? Okay, I'll get this recording up and I will see you guys on the family call in 20 minutes.